Um, Hi everyone. Welcome to our meeting, which is introduced Kaola Corporation Sustainability Policy and the plan. So first, I will talk about the corporation's sustainability policy. This sustainability policy aims to integrate a philosophy of sustainable development into all the organization's activities and to establish and promote sound environmental practice in our operations. The objective of the policy is to improve the development's environmental performance by complying with all relevant government legislation, policies, and planning instruments, and by meeting obligations required for Australia government environmental and sustainability reporting. Minimizing adverse environmental impacts and promoting sustainability by implementing responsibility and actions for department officials to apply efficient, effective, and economical procurement, including assessment of products on a whole of life circle basis and evaluating suppliers for social responsibility. The management of resource consumption and demand, thereby improving product utilization, efficiency, and financial performance, and an appropriate evaluation measure or waiting for environmental criteria. Environmental standards, principles, and practices for energy use, greenhouse gas emissions, ozone depleting substances, resource use, product, supplier, and material selection, materials waste and resource recovery, and portable waste use and wastewater treatment. All employees must carefully obey the guidelines set by the management. Sustainability Department manager will develop guidelines for staff to adopt sound environmental work practices, and adequate training will be provided to ensure these practices are carried out. All employees will act responsibly to correct incidents or conditions to endanger health, safety, or the environment. It will promptly report any such incident to the relevant authorities and inform affected parties as appropriate. All employees will use reasonable endeavors to reuse and recycle materials, purchase recycled materials, and use recyclable packaging and other materials. All employees will use all reasonable endeavors to that its services and products are safe, efficient, and in their use of energy, protective of environment, and able to be reused, recycled, or disposed of safely. All employees will use all reasonable endeavors to minimize materials and energy use, prevent air, water, and other pollution, and dispose of waste safely and responsibly. All employees will use all reasonable endeavors to conserve energy by improving energy efficiency and giving preferences to renewable over non-renewable energy sources when feasible. Now let's move to the next part. I will introduce a sustainability plan. The strategy that the company will adopt is to improve resource efficiency. Resource efficiency at its most basic means using resources such as water, energy, and even the workforce more efficiently. This can be beneficial in many ways, such as reducing the amount of material used and or manufacturing costs, reducing waste materials, and compliance to environmental legislation. It also reduces to business impact on the environment. Firstly, in the waste management part, we need to reduce waste production and reward waste minimization. The actions include match package quantities to batch sizes to avoid over-ordering of the raw materials. Investigate whether a different raw material would produce less waste. Set environmental standards for your suppliers, their products and services, and request substantiation of their claims. There should be no premium for this. Check for damaged or tainted goods when received, as these are a source of costly waste. Purchase recycled materials where possible. Give preference to products that are designed for long life, are reusable or recyclable, and are made and packaged with minimal net material. Give preference and consider service contracts with a definable process outcomes rather than chemical inputs regardless of effect. Ask the supplier to help us reduce chemical usage and share the savings. Energy saving is another thing we need to do. In the workplace, we need to turn off all lights and equipment when they do not need to be operating. Use energy-efficient office equipment and power-saving functions where they will be most effective. Use the most efficient models. Make sure equipment is the right size for the job, that is not too big. Use the most efficient lights. Transformable tubes are cheaper to run than lights, the fluorescent lights. Replace globes with fluorescent tubes to save power as well as reduce air conditioning loads and reduce labor needed to change globes. Install skylights in the roof or walls to reduce the need for artificial lighting. Minimize expenditure on space heating. Improve installation of all hot process items and steam lines to minimize simple heat loss. Require suppliers to quote the energy consumption and the cost of new piece of equipment. So is to save water. Reduce and reuse is the two major actions to save water. We need to fix dripping taps and leaking pipes. Install water-saving accessories around business. Use a dry method as a material conversion instead of water. Use counterflow rinsing with as many rinses stages as possible. As most contaminants are removed in the first rinse, two short rinse stages are much more water efficient than one long use. Minimize containment drag out to additional rinse stages by optimizing my counterflow rinse system. Determine the cheapest way to treat wastewater. It may be more profitable to treat the water for reuse rather than dispose. Investigate the possibility of rainwater harvesting for use as boiler feed or cooling tower makeup. This can be a cost-effective way of reducing water-related costs, such as reducing the size of drainage systems in the new structures. Final way is to reduce toxic material and hazardous chemical use. Use environmentally friendly cleaning products. Buy natural soap for use in the bathroom. Use ink and toner saving settings on equipment such as printers and photocopiers. Adopt life cycle management approaches. Think about the ways to prolong the life of products. Do not throw away perfectly good products, as somebody may be able to use them. Buy the products whenever fair trade products whenever possible. and the byproducts used in the workplace from other companies that are environmentally friendly. That is all I want to introduce today. Is there any questions? Okay, good.
No, thank
Yep,
you.
good, thanks.